The date is November 20th, 2020, and the time is 0600 hours and 29 minutes. Man, it's early. Where do I begin? Let me go ahead and get these dreams knocked out so I can still remember them. The first one, and I gotta thank God for this because this is what I asked for a while ago, because I wasn't remembering my dreams, and I was like, just help me remember them, clearer. They're coming in with more context. Oh, I'm definitely thankful to the Creator for that. The first one was I was up in New York. I don't know why, but I was on the trains and I was just trying to figure out how to get where I need to go. And just remember, I passed up my stop and I talked to the dude. He was like, did I get miss my stop? He was like, yeah, it was back the other way. So you have to hop off this train, get on another train, and then go backwards. So, and that was just about it. There was other stuff in there, but a lot of it I, just couldn't remember. So I'll charge that one to the game. The next one, I'm trying to figure out how I want to tell this one because it's certain people in there. Trying to think. All right. I'm trying to formulate in my head I want to tell this story or what happened in there. Okay, all right. So I'll call, there we go. All right, so one of them is, so the other one character in there, I'll call her Jones. Somebody, Instagram follower. I forgot how we matched up on Instagram. Oh, well. But she, apparently, like her and, let me see, it's a famous artist in Atlanta. I call him Rabbit. And it's going to be funny because if you're in the Atlanta art circle, you'll probably put two and two together, but oh well. So apparently Jones and Rabbit have some sort of underlying beef. And it's interesting how, like, the women that I speak to kind of view Rabbit it's just I don't know what's going on. It would be it would be nice to have a conversation with him. Actually, you know what? I kind of had the conversation in the dream. Wow. It's interesting how that conversation came about. Anyways, we were leaving. I guess them two had a little squabble. And we left. I was in the car with Rabbit and then a young lady that he was in the car as well. And we were in Atlanta. Were we? I don't know. It was chilly. And so let's ride with them. And Jones kind of did something. She was in the car ahead of us, and I don't know. She was like, it was something a little. Trying to put it together is. And then he just started writing these dreams down because it seems like when I try to talk it out, I'm not really getting all the details. But basically Jones, either she the car wasn't moving or like swerved out in front but anyways, it did something to make, Rabbit agitated. So we're driving and we're having a conversation and we get out the car, we're going to the show or brunch or whatever. We're something. So we were going location, and I asked him, I was like, dude, mind if I ask you a question? And he was like, something about shit. What did he say? Something to the degree of just go ahead and ask it. Like you bring it up is like, oh, he kind of asking me a question, and I asked him, I was like, do you feel like you play a part in the behavior of these women? Like, tripping. It was kind of was like, no, and insinuating that he, kind of, keeps it a bean with them, like keeps it all the way 100. And so therefore, however they react is however they react. Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, cool. And we kept it moving. I told him, about the art show tomorrow. And he was saying like it's my first one. He's like, oh, cool. And just, the dynamic of it kind of really kind of came from a place of him being like a mentor, somebody I looked up to, and me being all excited about like, oh, hey, my first show. And he's like, cool. Oh yeah. And then I was all like, I observed, just telling him, how much I admired him, and just like how I was observing a lot of him, him and all the artists that I came across in Atlanta. And I just noticed, I was like, yeah, it was cold. And I was like, man, I kind of missed the cold weather, because as much as I enjoy living down here in Houston, and it really doesn't get cold until January, February. I kind of do miss the elements, like the seasons. I think I say that because I froze so much in my life. It's like, all right, I'm cool, but I appreciate it. I was like, oh, it's cool. So then I woke up. Let's see where I want to kind of go with the rest of this. Give me a second. My lips dry. I could whistle though. Okay. All right. There we go. Let's hop into abstinence. 5. Yeah, I think I am 5, 7. Oh man, about a whole week into not beating my meat. It's becoming easier now. Like, I had a moment, I think yesterday was it yesterday, where I got horny, and I was like, oh, I could do it, could be my dick, but then I was like, I just thought about the rabbit hole of, oh man, if I did it, I'd be pissed off, because I'd be like, all right, I made it this far, and I just would not. I know on the other side, I would not be happy about it. It'll be the same way. I'm trying to think what. Oh, it would be the same way I would feel about eating fast food, or how I felt about eating candy lately, where I was all like, oh, I fell off the wagon. I feel like shit. And I wouldn't even be able to enjoy the nut. So yeah, it's been about a week, and then the last time I had sex was it November 3rd? Yeah. I'm just kind of throwing it out there for my own personal accountability. And I really don't know where this is gonna go. I really want to attempt to make it to Christmas at least. It was like what 40 some days from the time I kind of started, right around that time. And it's easier because my brother is kind of I'm gonna tell him like, Lou, I'm gonna need you to be my sponsor. Oh man, so like almost on sort of 12-step program, but just kind of like, look, this is, and it already kind of is, you know. It's like it's easier with my brother in the picture, because I remember, I distinctly remember the first time I tried it, years ago. It was what 2014, I think. Was it? Because I was fucking around with old situationship. It was dealing with situationship, and Troy was new in the picture. I know I have feelings for her, but it's like I wasn't committing or anything because I was dealing with the last situation, and I was like, man, it's just stressful. Let me just stop fucking, even to the like stop beating my dick. And I think talking to Troy just was not helping the situation. I just visually caved in after like 3 weeks. So, but yeah, and I think I found a way to do my handsome artist daily stories. I'm going to have to do it on here, just verbal, because when I was trying to do it, video, I was just too in my head, hating everything that I was saying. I would get like a couple minutes in, I'm like, I hate this shit, and I'll try to start over. Get about 2 minutes in, like, I hate this shit. So yeah, I'm I'm feeling like I'm at that point where I'm done. Like I just don't even want to. I don't even want to deal with the bullshit. There's couple young ladies I'm chopping it up with. Of course, the Virgo. And then there's another one. I need to put. I actually need to like save her name in the context because I was like, she caught me around that time where, and I had the moments, and it's maybe it probably has to do with the bipolar shit because I have the moments where it's all or nothing, just the all or nothing, or it doesn't necessarily have to be about that, but that all or nothing thinking of I've gone through it several times where I'm so tired of the dating game or just trying to get some ass game that I'll like fuck these apps, I'll delete them, and it's like, all right, I'm gonna do this shit. But then over time, like, oh, nigga just I want some pussy or somebody to suck my dick. So I get back on the apps, and it's just a roller coaster. But now I'm just like, whatever, I'm cool, cause it's a fucking annoying ass game. It's the same. It's just, and let's keep saying the same old story of swipe, 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 swipe. You might match. You get a match, and you're like, same old line kind of sometimes. I'll be like, hey, how you doing? Hey, hello, how are you? Oh, fine, fine. How are you doing? And hello, no, I'm cool. Just going through the day. Just get my day rolling. Did some yoga. Did both. And like, oh, you do yoga? And conversation could keep going. You could get to a point. Let me see. Let me go through the stages. Okay, all right. Swipe stage. I already covered that. The introductions and just those initial conversation stage. And it very well could not happen there. And nothing about it feels organic. It's like a few messages in, I'm like, oh, fuck it, you want to exchange numbers? And like, all right, cause, like, okay, all right, even at the talking stage, you're like, all right, this shit ain't gonna work. So either I won't respond or they won't respond, and it's like, all right, it's over. And then maybe we'll get to exchanging numbers, and all right, cool. Then there's the texting stage. Kind of go through that. It's like maybe something will come to it more than that. And then there's the possible meeting up stage, and I'm such more of a those annoying for people who are like, the whole, like, I prefer texting as a means of conversation. I probably need to do voice notes a little bit more, but to have the whole, like, to just have a phone conversation. Even my phone conversation with my friends, I'm like, I have to really, really I have to really want to talk to you to be on here for an extended amount of time. And with, these people or whatever, I don't feel like having a phone conversation before we've actually met. And with COVID going on, the chances of, just meeting up ain't too many options no more. Like it was. So yeah, you may get to that. You may get to fucking. And there's that. And at every stage, either party can go ghost. There's only been a few. It's been a few, situations that have extended. This was extended over time. And let me see. That whole shall not remain nameless. That woman ain't talking to me like that in a while. So you know what? Fuck it. A character in my adventure, in my story. And it's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's the same thing every time. With some of these women, it's like to show a strong interest on the front end. On the front end. And I know. See, I want to hear the other side of what is it like dating me, or is it just like a general theme of we go, and then man, it's like that Xavier Omar song, Something Changed, and I can feel it. The conversation starts to wane. It's all like, just wind down, just go down. It's all like, all right. I was like, okay, I see it. Used to go hard in the beginning, but now it's the energy ain't the same, and yeah, it'll die down. I'll bring something. I'll bring it up. It's like, just dealing with this stuff, and it's just it's a common thing. Like, to get scared, or life happens, and they'll fall back. It's just interesting because maybe in my mind I expect, it's like, once again, expectations and comparison. Those are two things that will fuck your ass up. You'll fuck your damn head up. Is I'll expect, like, because maybe even if, like, I may be going through some shit in my life, and I still am able to, reach out, try to have a conversation, not, disappear. Oh, man, I just had a thought. Just escaped me. Let me talk my way back. Yeah, I'll be going through it. And then Oh well, fuck it. If it comes back to me, it comes back to me. And then comparison, I remember, I distinctly remember how comparison kind of had me looking at Troy different. Just being, I was in, I was in training. Yeah, when I was working for DFAS, and the young ladies in there, they had their either boyfriends or fiancés, and them kind of doing, kind of like, oh, just excited to talk about them and we're doing, it's part of the conversation, and we're like, oh, put this, do this for him, and put a little care package for him, and oh, I just love my man so much, and they'd be, tagging that nigga or taking whole like photo shoots of that dude, and I was all like, I ain't getting none of that shit. None of it, none of it, none of it, none of it. Nothing. No. That's why I try to. This is interesting because, of course, it sounds like what a woman would say, but it's like I don't know. Maybe I need to talk to more dudes. Like, all right, what's your relationship? But I don't have a lot of, and even the guy friends I have, it's like we're not. It's not like we're talking every day. Like my brother is the only one that I have like a day-to-day conversation with, and I understand. Like we talk about our issues, and I gotta thank God for how all that lined up, because me and my brother were not close. Like basically after puberty, and up until the last. Basically, we graduated from grad school. So, yeah, 2019. Man, it's a long time. That's a long time. But everything happens when it's supposed to. Everything happens with a purpose. The script is already written out. Everything is crazy. The whole script is already played out. That's why it's like, when folks get mad about certain things, I'm all like, well, I understand the frustration and stuff. Oh, when it's stuff out of our hands. It's like, why are you mad? It's like this shit was already going to happen. If you want to carry that weight of anger or weight of frustrations, but everybody's not in a position to be able to forgive and, just let go of shit. So it's like, all right, I need to, give them grace. But at the same time, I'm not trying to deal with that stress in my life. But yeah, comparison. It's like, fuck your ass up. But because I remember I used to not like being over, and this is, just now it's just time to explore different parts of these issues. But I used to not like going over to my friend's house when they, being around their kids and stuff like that, because I was like, man, I don't have a relationship with my own children. So, like, it hurts to see, folks with their kids. I don't know, they got their own shit. So, like, kids frustrate them, and so, like, not as, parenting is a, remember Omarion saying, like, the business of parenting, all the things that go involved is like, picking schools, dealing with their health, dealing with their development, dealing with, raising this child and, trying not to fuck up too much. And what else? You got the business of relationships. Because they have, that person has their own temperament, their moods, their history, how they react, how they talk, communicate, how, their love languages. Did I ever mention mine? Man, it's like fucking obvious, I would think, but words of affirmation and quality time. And like they say, your love languages are usually shit that you were not getting And I'm trying to think, because I don't talk about this shit. I don't know my parents. I had great parents. I never had to worry about where my next meal, just from the point of providing, never had to worry about where my next meal was coming from. Never had to worry about, where I was getting my clothes from, all this shit. It was, the other dynamics and shit. My dad is, he showed a lot of love. You know what? Now, as I think about it, I spent way more quality time with my dad than I did my mother. There we go. That's why I be wanting quality time from these women. There we go. It all starts there. And while I'm thinking about it, let me do want to talk about it. So I don't want to forget. But Clubhouse, man, I think I'm cool on that. I know I was hyping it up in previous episodes, which I may or may not have uploaded. So, well, I have to go back today and see what I did. But the conversations are so fucking shallow. And it's once again kind of goes back to them gender wars and shit. And oh man, there's so much. I think the only ones that I like are the ones that are just talking about, creativity and art. Kind of almost business. I'm the businessman. It's like, I feel like that's my area of, if we had the creator, like the creative player on football or, basketball, you give them all these points in a certain area, then they're like, let's say they ball handling ain't great. So it's like, you shoot threes, but bam, ball handling ain't great. And for me, there's like the business mind, like creativity all day. Gotcha, baby. But the other shit, it's like, oh man, I'm deficient. I feel like I'm deficient in an area. So it's like I remember going through that small business development group thing, the HUD thing. Oh, not HUD, but Urban League. And I was like, this shit's overwhelming. Shit's overwhelming. So, but yeah, Clubhouse, I'm like, all right, I'll hop on here from time, but for the most part, I'm good, man. It's too much. Like, this is, once again, just that misogynistic talk on there, the homophobia, and it's like, at a point in my life, I was there. I was there. So seeing it on the other side, I'm all like, one, I'm like agitated by hearing it, and two, I'm like, oh man, just hating the older versions of myself. And you should cringe sometimes or dislike older versions of yourself, because that shows growth. But also you gotta like learn, like, okay, I learned this lesson and cool. So yeah. So speaking of that, oh man, last night was the Gucci and Jeezy battle on Versus. And it was something, at first it was supposed to be Jeezy versus T.I. And I think that would have been, like, music-wise, that would have been a much better back and forth. That would have been a much better back and forth. And T.I., of course, would have got that one. T.I. would have won. T.I., yeah. But yeah, and before it was like, it was probably never gonna get this, Jeezy and Gucci, because of their beef. And it's like, if you don't know, just go read Gucci's book, for the backstory on that, to the whole situation with it. I might have to go back and reread the situation leading up to that. But like, Gucci is pretty much one of the few rappers in the game with a body of his record, but it was tense. You could tell it was like it was tense. What else did I notice? Of course, they had them sitting further apart. It was at Magic City. Oh man, good old Magic City. Magic City. I prefer the Blue Flame though. Say would have had the blue. Somebody got to do a battle on the Blue Flame. But and leading up to it, you could tell there's a lot of things like Gucci is grown, but there's some things that still's got to deal with, in his growth journey. And Jeezy played the cool. I respect, Jeezy. He played the cool the whole time. Like he was, he said little things like that was cute, little jabs, small subtle stuff, but it wasn't to the degree of like because Gucci dropped a whole diss track before the battle and he was talking shit up leading up to it. Which is like street niggas, hey, that's a life that I do not know and will not ever claim to know. Yeah, not about that life. Cool. But yeah, it was tense in there. The limp, like it took a good minute to get on stage. I think it took about 30 minutes to start. It's supposed to start at 7, Central Time, but at least the set was the DJ was it had a good set, and I was like, oh man, if the set was playing in the strip club, I'd be throwing all my money. But once again, these DJs, and it annoys the fuck out of me when they'll have this run of just energy in the music, and I'm like, just stay there. It's like fucking. It's literally like fucking a woman. It's like, all right, she about to come. Don't switch up the stroke. Just keep going. And I know it's hard. It can be hard. It's like you just getting up in there. You're like, all right, I need to stay here. And she'll be like, just stay right there. And as soon as you switch up it's like, oh man, you got to start all over. But yeah, that's what happened to DJ. You fucking, it's going through the hits, man, the crunk era, man. I was such a back in my day nigga last night. I was like, oh man, I remember the Monastery. I remember, partying to this shit in Germany. And then it was like, I was like, man, these kids don't have shit. Maybe drill. That's about it. That would get the club shut down. Like, I don't know. Like, I haven't been in the club, like that in years. But what do these kids have in their music arsenal that would, like, literally, y'all know, like, if the club gets shut down. The club shut down, the lights come on, and it's over. Or the fight happens and security comes in and we keep the party going. But yeah, no, club shut down be like Lil Jon, that East Side, yeah. Even I forgot what else. Earth Flight. I was like, yeah. Just going through that run. And then this motherfucker wanna play Chicago's freestyle. Oh my goodness. Yeah, because they was going through oh man, the whole holiday season. Bruh, fucking Hard in the Paint, Flocka, oh shit. Oh, Gucci, fucking Trapper, Jeezy Trapper. Oh, no, I don't think they did. Yeah, no, that was the set. I can't remember what I was in the set, but just all that shit that, Nuck If You Buck, all that stuff. And then this motherfucker want to play Chicago freestyle. And it just killed the energy. And I'm like, fuck, man, really? It's like, I remember I was at, one year, what was it? Graveyard. Rest in peace to the Graveyard down in East Atlanta, right there on, Flat Shoals and what's that intersection? Damn it, it's right on my head. Man, this is what happened when you don't live there for a while. But the if you know, Graveyard. Was it? I think it was the year that they had. Was it an anniversary year? Where you had. Man, I went to some classic parties in the A. But you had the graveyard and then the basement. They were both open at the same time. And usually it doesn't like happen like that. But you had it was packed. It was so packed on both levels. And I missed the basement too. You hear people doing cocaine in the bathroom. But upstairs you had what was it? It was several DJs going through the set, but the main DJ was Cypher Sounds, and I'm not a fan of New York DJs. I put it out there. I am not a fan of those sets. I'm not from there. There's only certain New York sets that I need that aggressive, that grind. I need that. Maybe it's like just the Locks and DMX. You can't go wrong with that. Certain Wu-Tang songs in there, but sometimes like those New York DJs, man, it's like, no, there he is. It's not the music. It's the motherfuckers that go on that long run. And it's all like, nah, man, I'm cool. But what's about to say? I think if I was from up there, I'd appreciate it more. But you like what you like, and Cypher it happens with a few DJs. Like once again, it's the same thing. You'll be good, you go on a good run, and you switch it up, and it's like, oh man, see, you could have stayed right there. You could have stayed right there, right there, stay right there. So yeah. Need to resurrect my DJ career, but I'm cool. I got the turntables. I could play around with it. I like making playlists better. Let's see what else is there to talk about. I'll talk about it all. State of the world. Woo, man, it's gonna be interesting because good old Donald is shuffling his feet. I really don't know the details of what's going. He's just not making things easier for the next administration to slide in. So, it's going to be. I'm gonna put it like this. I don't know exactly what's gonna happen, but it's gonna be an interesting next 4 years. I just know it's gonna be entertaining. It's gonna be interesting. Just listen to the birds. I got a doctor's appointment today. I'm just gonna send. I'm gonna just pray before I roll over there. Just I got to like I need to get blood work done. I need to get STD tests done. Just that check. So yeah, because I had to make sure too. It was all like brought up, COVID stuff and testing. I was like, I don't got to get a test, do I? And she was like, no, just if you're displaying symptoms and stuff. And I was like, all right, cool. Because what I am not going to do is get that fucking Q-tip up my damn nose. Fuck that shit. No, I'm good. It's like, how have y'all not been able to come up with a mouth swab test for this shit yet? Why does it have to be all the way up in the fucking nose? Like, y'all can't spray no damn local numbing shit before you put it up there. Like, oh, this shit just reminds me too much of them days of taking that Q-tip up my dick. But then she was like, no, you don't have to. As long as you ain't displaying symptoms. I'm like, all right, cool. Nah. And I'm not getting that fucking vaccine. Nah. Try this shit out on other people for our shit. We'll see how it affects other people. Fuck, no, I'm cool. I wonder how much of my life is gonna be affected or possibly limited if I choose not to get the vaccine. And I'm starting to make peace with it. Like if I can't fly, then I just want to be flying places. If I can't leave the country, I'll just stay my ass right here. But I'm as of right now, I'm not getting a fucking vaccine. I'm cool. I'm cool. This shit, everything about this damn disease is just don't. Yeah, it could be like, maybe it's the whole. Yeah, it probably most likely is the fact that we've been coming up with these vaccines and we've been, over, sanitizing over everything that, of course, these, germs and viruses, I don't want to get off this topic because it's scary thinking about it, but they mutate and mutate. And it's all like, all right, man, this shit's weird. Shit's weird. I know I'm gonna get all the answers when it's time for me to check up out of here, but looking back, I would love to see how, like, because it was interesting. It was exactly like how the news stories play out on, especially I Am Legend, and it'll be a casual news story. It's all like, just how it started. Oh, there's a case, this virus going around in Wuhan, and then it'll expand and like, oh, it's under control, and then it's like, all right, it's growing, and then you're like, oh, hopefully they can just keep that shit over there. All right, you keeping it over there? Okay. Oh fuck, the shit that made it to Washington State. Oh damn, first confirmed cases, and then damn, motherfuckers are dying and it's spreading, and just the heat map just expanding. I remember, working at TSU initially. It's like, all right, this shit's not real. And then they was like, oh, we need to disinfect the everything. We're not tripping. So like, all right, just having those thoughts of like, bro, it's not real. And I'm like, oh, this shit's, it's weird. The motherfucker is too weird. Because the other day, Erica Badu was saying something about how she had a positive test and then 3 negative ones within 24 hours. And just seeing people with their mask on, not mask on, isolated, and still get it. And I know the woman I was supposed to be, was supposed to have an event this week, yoga and tea and stuff like that, but it's like it didn't happen. Nobody really showed up. Only one person showed up, but she wasn't down to do yoga. She wasn't prepared to do yoga. But this is a weird year, It's like you look at Atlanta, they not like I was there, like I was especially going to Jack's. I remember having my mask on. Nobody had their. It's like black folks do not believe in COVID. I guess because we've survived so much other shit. We like, what's a fucking virus? What is killing? It's I I don't know. I've been taking it like seriously, but lightly, and fortunately, as of now, it really hasn't hit home hard. I have a cousin who's had it. I need to reach out to him, and then because he got it at my other cousin's when they went to the funeral, same funeral, or yeah, all that stuff. My brother was at, and he's cool. See, yeah, that, and then my uncle, well, I call him play uncle, but black folk shit. But he had it, and apparently, like, it's, mine don't. And it's like, what's going on here? What is going on here? And if I try to make sense of it, I'll go crazy because it's the same way as, being in Iraq and, the IEDs, like, all right, hit the truck in front of me, hit the truck behind me, but never mind, getting shot at and, situations, soldiers being in similar situations and getting, shot or whatever, or dying or getting blown up or some shit. It's like, man, I watch I'll be watching Platoon a lot. This is on Netflix. And so, okay, all right. So let's go with certain things that I have noticed in Platoon that I did not notice before. Especially, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back and watch it. But it's after the final. Hey, there's so much more I'm noticing and remembering now. Didn't know. Well, Taylor, yeah, he was wearing an ankh. I was like, wearing an ankh. I was like, oh shit, oh you down for the cause? Oh, back in the day, they only showed Johnny Depp in two scenes. What else? What else? In that final scene, after that final battle scene, what else? Oh, the black dude. He looked up. He was all like, looked around. It was all like, oh, I'm still alive. I'm finna stab myself. Cause I am not going to do this shit again. I'm done. I'm it. That's it. I am done. And it was interesting seeing like old dude. What was his name? What was it? Old dude. What was his name? He was wearing like the kufi the whole time. I can't remember, but oh, it's crazy. He was trying to get out of shit. He was the one hanging around with the white boys and that right whatever, and he got ended up getting stabbed. The one white dude that in the earlier scenes had, unprovoked, he snapped and headbutted, butt stock that fucking Vietnamese dude and just crushed his head and killed him with no, it's like, you didn't need to kill him. But he ended up getting shot. And then back to Charlie. Oh, and then when that ATV came in, was it ATV? No, one of them, it was a track vehicle, but there was a fucking, they had a flag with a damn swastika on that shit. Oh, it was a nice. I was like, oh, I had to run that shit back. And I was like, these white dudes are wildin'. And it was crazy because there was a brother on the ride on there too. These motherfuckers is wild, but I had to remember too. I didn't, if they had the Confederate flag, I was like, oh shit, yeah, that was 67. Them times, but like 67, I was all like, with a swastika, I was like, what the fuck? But I was like, oh shit, this is only like 20 years removed from World War II. Man, there was a lot going. Man, that's crazy. Yeah, you just go through the like World. You got World War II. Then you had Korea, and then there was Nam, and then after Nam, you were like, all right, we got the Cold War, and then you have, these conflicts in the Middle East. And I was like, oh man, let me see what else. What else is there? I'm glad. It made me and just watching it, I was like, oh yeah. Every time I watch Vietnam movies, I have such a high respect for them, for those soldiers. I have such a high respect for soldiers that fought before me. Because Nam was crazy. Nam was crazy bad. Motherfuckers jumping out of everywhere, booby traps. And I was like, man, I fought when I fought at a good time. Because even the cats that went Iraq before me, just early on, they didn't have the same armor. They was getting fucked up by IEDs. They was on, it's like, dudes that fought at Ramadi and Fallujah, Mosul. Yeah, all I've got is I got the surge, and then right around March '08 when we taught Al-Sadr caught off the ceasefire and the mighty army, all that shit, and we had to respond, and whew, yeah, interesting times. Fucking 50 cal jamming and shit, and it's before somebody jumps out and be like, oh, when was it clean? No, that motherfucker was defective. It was jamming, and I had to, like, when it was jamming, like, they were like, hey, break that shit down, clean it, which I did, and put it back together, and still was jammed. It was like, oh, that was so annoying with that 50, because it was single shot. I had to cock it every time. 50s is supposed to be like, do, 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 do. And it's supposed to rock the whole, man, that motherfucker. When it does rock, The whole truck is shaking. But definitely, I prefer the 240 because it's like it was crazy watching. I love seeing the Vietnam. I love watching the M60, bruh. It's funny because while you watch Rambo videos, I mean Rambo movies, and this is how strong that motherfucker was. He was, you know, he would be holding the 50. I mean the 60. What's it called? The M60. Oh yeah, there we go. Am I saying it right? I don't feel like going back and look at it, but he's holding it in one side. The whole, yeah, the M60 or whatever. There we go. And then he's holding the belt of ammo too. There's some fucking man shit. I swear there's this. I feel like there's these tiers of masculinity or levels to it, and you have the fighter, which I put up like, yeah, you have the fighter, and then you have the um, the football player, because it's like, yeah, football / rugby player right up there, and then you have the soldier or the military person, and you have, and even in there is levels to that, because at the very top you have special operations group, Delta Force, Navy SEALs, SF, Rangers, Air Force has their own, elite. Then you go down, the list. Yeah, infantry. It's basically anybody on the front. And then you'll have the combat arms folks, tankers, artillery. I think scouts still fall under that. Well, because do they get the? I don't think, no, they don't get the infantry. Yeah, they get the combat action badge. Let's see, combat. I think so, if I remember right. And then you'll have everybody else. And then you can break it down to the different levels, because for some people, it wasn't a significant, being a military wasn't a significant part in their life, and they're like, all right, it was what it was. And you have the other ones that probably actually like did shit and it's engaged in combat, and it's like, all right, this is like me. It's like, all right, this is a part of my life. I refer to it a lot. It's reflective in my art, just all that pain, all that shit. And yeah, I'm trying to think what else is there. But yeah, the tiers of, or levels of masculinity. And if you haven't, kind of gone through that fire at that test, and you have the ones that overcompensate. I know I overcompensate to a degree sometimes, because like, well, once again, I didn't go through, a lot of that fighting experience. But then again, I'm glad I didn't, because you have guys that just can't function. I remember, I'll never forget, I had a vet that he was, man, it was crazy seeing. It was like in his 40s, 40s, something like that. And just every time there are thunderstorms, like, it's like, fuck, this whole world's fucked up. This other guy that I would go to jiu-jitsu with, I wonder if he's been there in a while. He was in the Marines, but he was just telling me, being a young kid, and, he's like fucking in with them, danger close missions. And you don't know what danger close is. It's pretty much you're fucking watch. If you want to see a visual of danger close, where artillery is just shooting it damn near close as fuck to your position, watch We Were Soldiers. It's one of my favorite scenes in there, when they fucking shoot that artillery and the motherfucking Viet Cong is like, they're so fast and accurate. And then what else? And then Platoon. And that fucking lieutenant, man, Barnes came in there. What kind of fucking fire missions are you calling for, motherfucker? And I run that scene back so many times. He calls over their neck, called him red legs, dog. that's one of two. Nah, it's not even a. Yeah, I'll call them regrets. Fuck it, whatever. And I don't even call it. Well, it used to be playing in a HBCU marching band, and I was like, when I heard the shit they go through, I was like, you know what? And having students, dealing with, I was like, you know what? Nope, nope, fuck that shit. Glad I didn't go through that. Like, it would have been cool, but like, nah, I'm good. I am cool. Like, let's start there. Over the band, like, really? It's man, some of the shit people do, I don't get it. I don't like. Why are you hazing people in the band? Why? Why are you doing this? You had a situation at FAMU where they killed dude. Like really, really, you're playing an instrument and you're hazing. Like you're playing a flute and you're hazing people. Like it's not necessary. Come on now, you don't need it. No, mentoring people is a way better. Is a way. That's how you. I was hearing that last night on ESPN Daily, like about DK Metcalf and how he was ready to fight when he came in there because of all the hazing, but it was all like Seattle, they brought him in, they were mentoring, and it's a way better practice model to do. And then even fraternities and so that's why the fuck are you, for brotherhood and sister, why are y'all paddling each other? Why yeah, ain't why you're not going to war? No, just no, really. And especially after I watched Burning Sands, I was like, oh, the motherfucker died. Really, you want to risk your life for a fraternity? But hey, some people do. Some people do. um that let me see, the regret, my one regret is not being able to shoot artillery in a combat zone. Yeah, because my first tour, they already had we was at Taji, and first Cav had the fire was the ones shooting artillery. And then when I went up to Warhorse, third ACR was doing, they had their paladins up there. And I never forget the first time that, one of the nights we was in there in the computer room, or, the small little R&R, MWR place spot, whatever, where they have computers and phones. And it was like, they had that outgoing. It was like, you just jumped a little bit because the whole building would shake. And I learned quickly, you learn the difference between outgoing and incoming. Incoming is way scarier than outgoing. What else can I put people on game? And I learned this question. Bad. I remember when I was, younger, watching Black Hawk Down. Yeah, Black Hawk. What am I on? Damn, I'm at an hour. It's gonna be a bitch to upload. Oh well. But I learned in Black Hawk Down that if it's a whiz, it's close. If it's a snap, it's right by your head. And I learned that that first firefight I was in, I heard that snap, and I was like, oh shit, that motherfucker close. Man, life. All right, let me see. Okay, all right. So art show, I've got 40 prints. Yeah, 40 prints. I have my books. I need to get a tablecloth and a chair. I'll probably get 2 chairs. The book, I'm on a book hiatus. Just haven't really felt like writing. I ain't got no weed. Which I need to use. I can write. I can write without it. I can write without any of that shit, for real. I just need to do it. But I'm gonna talk it out voice note. I need the dictation on. I need there to be a feature on my Mac where I can just like keep the dictation on instead of it, after a while to cut off. I need to find that. because I was watching her. Oh shit, that movie was so good. Well, towards the end, I didn't expect it to go the end. I was like, but he was like writing, he was just talking, writing the letters, writing it out, talking through it, and it was just like flow in and him. And it's like, yeah, I need to get back to dictation. But yeah, I'm excited. It was like I really wish I had the kid. Like yesterday, I had that wave of tiredness, and I was like, let me get my ass up and put these prints in the bags. It's like, man, I was like, oh, I wish the kids here helping me and shit, but their mom they don't get it, taking it serious about COVID because she's got it's way more riskier than with mine because got all the kids in the house in they spot and they don't need a COVID outbreak in their home, like it's too close, confined. So it's like, man, I ain't hung with the kids in a good minute. In a good minute, I haven't hung with them. But it was like, man, it would be nice if I'd be like, hey, have one of the kids, either like take pictures or just kind of be a helper. But I will. Yeah. All right. That is all I got for now. I'm just waiting for the time to change over because I don't feel like calling now. But I need to get up, get moving, get shit done before this appointment. And on that note, the time is 0700 hours and 31 minutes.